This film shows how to set up the various parameters on a Dustcheck sequence controller without a Delta P control facility. To establish if you have a Delta P controller, look for two pneumatic connections on the side of the controller, connected internally with plastic pipe. If your controller does have these, then you have a Delta P controller, and this video is not applicable. Instead, please view our Delta P controller film. The controller has 8 functions, 7 of which can be set by the user. Controllers supplied with dust filters are factory preset for the unit supplied. Changes are not normally required. However, there may be an instance where the process allows a change, or the controller has been supplied as a replacement. The controller has a keypad consisting of keys A, B, and C, and a 3-digit display, which are used in conjunction with each other to access, view, adjust, and store the controller settings. You access the settings menu by pressing key C. Pressing C again scrolls through the available functions. The functions are labeled as F01, F02, etc., and their purpose is listed in the instruction leaflet, enclosed with the controller. Once the desired selection is displayed, press A to view the current setting and make any changes. Use keys A and C to adjust the setting up or down. Once the value required is displayed, press B to store the value. If you have completed all the changes, pressing B again puts the controller into operating mode. To make further changes to the other settings, press C until the desired function is displayed and A to start changes. Please be aware, the controller will revert to operating mode after 5 minutes of inactivity on the keypad. Let's now go through each function and setting in turn. Since the controller requires a power supply during the setting operation, extreme care should be taken to avoid contact with live terminals. Function F01 is to allow the controller to stop and start via an external signal using terminals 12 and 13 or 14 and 15, or all 4. The normal factory setting is 1, which ignores any external signal. Setting to 0 allows this signal to be used. Press C to get the F01 menu. If you have just entered the menu, it should show F01. If not, press C again to scroll through until you have F01 showing on the display. Use keys A and C to change the setting. Once correct, press B to store the setting. F02 sets the period in seconds for the duration of the valve opening. For most dust filters, this is set to 0.1. F03 sets the time interval between firing the solenoids and is often set to 15 seconds. F04 is set to the number of solenoid valves to be activated. It allows any number up to the maximum the controller can handle. F05 provides the facility to have the controller run through a series of cleaning cycles after the air mover has stopped and no airflow exists through the filter unit. If this facility is required, function F01 should also be set to 0, and a connection is required on terminals 12 and 13 to provide the signal. F06 is used for testing and diagnostics and has no setting facility. It allows you to select a particular valve and force it to activate. When F06 is displayed, press C to select the valve to be activated. Then press A to activate. F07 defines the type of signal that will be used to provide the external signal to stop and start the controller. If this facility is required, function F01 should also be set to 0, and a connection is required on terminals 14 and 15 to provide the signal. Setting this to 0 allows the signal to be provided by a pressure switch, setting it to 1 for a normal open and closed signal, say from a PLC. Finally, F08, which allows the output voltage to be selected. This should be set to the input voltage of the solenoid valve, normally 24 volts. For further information on any of Dustcheck's products, please get in touch.